Before the project is built, I need to first understand the thing that I'm going to be detecting using that, and that is the malware. Now, what is malware? Malware is software, firmware, or hardware that is intentionally included or inserted into a system for a malicious or harmful purpose. It can disrupt, damage, extort, and even give the attacker unauthorized access to your system. Now, let me give you a few examples of how malwares work. Malwares can hack into victims' banking credentials. It can extort the victim's payments. It can actually break down your whole system. And this happens a lot in companies who get infected by malware. Now, there's a confusion that has been arising about that malware and virus is the same thing. They're partially true, but there is some in-depth you guys need to know so you guys can make the difference. Malware is the umbrella term, okay? And underneath it comes virus. Basically, virus is a type of malware. It's not the same thing. Malware has many types and one of it is virus. It's a really small thing in comparison to the whole broad term malware. Now let's discuss about the types of malwares in detail, starting with the virus. Now, what is a virus? Virus is malware that attaches itself to files or programs, and with execution, it spreads through the system. Worms are malwares that reproduce themselves and spread throughout the system. Thirdly, there's the Trojan horse. Trojan horse is actually a malware that looks like a legitimate software. For example, you're clicking on Skype.com, but actually, if you look closely into the metadata, that's not Skype. That is some unique kind of a program made by an attacker. That is a malware. And lastly, I want to discuss about ransomware. And ransomware is the most famous known malware throughout history. Basically, ransomware, it encrypts your file systems or the whole system itself. The attacker demands a ransom from the other person, and if you give the ransom, you can get access, but that is not completely true. Many people take the ransom and still keep the system infected. So you really need to be wary of this specific malware and protect yourself from this. All of them are really harmful, but in my opinion, ransomware is a big game changer. Now, we've discussed about malwares and its types. How do we know how malwares actually get into a system? External devices like USB or external hard drives, which are corrupted, if connected to the system, it's gonna directly download malware. Secondly, spam emails. Those are emails that look very legitimate and have attachments with them. Once you open the attachment, it downloads malwares into your system. And thirdly, there's compromised or hacked web pages. What do? Basically, through your web browser's vulnerabilities, they hack those vulnerabilities and get into your system, and through that, it hacks your PC and installs malwares into it. And lastly, which is the most common type, downloading legitimate software from fake websites. Through that, it gets bundled into that software. Mostly it comes in a zip, and once you extract that zip, you get the legitimate software with the malware that's executing on its own and you don't even know it. Now let's discuss about the impact. Now, I've noted this down specifically from blog posts. Let me explain. The NSCS described on the blog post that malware isn't just annoying pop-ups. It can stop organizations from operating, encrypt data, disrupt services, and force recovery decisions. This is officially in the NSCS blog post. I'm gonna link that in the comments below. You guys can check that out yourself as well. And lastly, let's discuss about MITRE ATT&ck. This is how it's actually written. For easiness, I've just said it MITRE ATT&ck, but it stands for something completely else. Now, what is MITRE ATT&ck? MITRE ATT&ck is a public knowledge base of real-world adversary tactics, techniques, and procedures based on actual cybersecurity incidents. Now, let me discuss how it's actually connected to malware. Now, we discussed how malwares have specific behaviors. For example, privilege escalation, credential theft, and there are many more. These are specific behaviors that are directly linked to the MITRE ATT&ck's database. And it's really important for the project as well, because my project is going to be a detector that is going to detect what? Those behaviors and patterns, those suspicious behaviors. And this is how I'm going to find out malwares. So that's why it's really important for me to know as well. Now, there are some ways you guys can know about how if a malware is in your system or not. These are few that I've experienced them myself. The way you guys can do this is go to your system, then go to Task Manager, see the processes, and see if there are any suspicious processes over there. Like there are some processes that you have never seen before, and it's taking a lot of memory. It's completely eating your RAM. Now you'll know why your PC is actually slow, and it's because of that specific process. You can easily end the task or go into depth where it has actually been executed and delete it from the source. This is one of the few practical approaches I've taken to delete malwares in my previous systems and PCs. This is all for this video. I really wanted to go deep into what malwares actually were, their types, their confusions, and how it's going to be actually linked to my project, because it is going to be a malware detector. So I really needed to understand that. See you in the next video. From qubits to 0 days. If you're interested in cybersecurity, malware detection, machine learning, quantum computing, or just watching a serious project get built from zero, this is where it starts. Follow the journey from the beginning. From qubits to 0 days.